What's up, YouTube? Jake Blake back to give you another deck profile. This is probably my favorite deck of all time for right now. It's competitive, and it is not too broken. It has its limits, but once it comes off, it's difficult to defeat. So I'm just going to get into it. It's a Mist Valley deck, and so I'll just start with the spells. You run 2 MST. I don't run 3 anymore just because it kind of clogs your hand up a little bit, and with decks nowadays they don't play too much back row. But for the cards that I run also, it negates stuff, so you don't really need to run too many MST. I run 2 Divine Wind of Mist Valley. It gets your plays off when a monster is sent to your hand. You can special summon another level 4 or lower wind type monster from your deck. Really, really good. Really gets you out of just certain situations that you couldn't normally get out without this really good field spell card. So it's really good. And then I run 1 Mausoleum of the Emperor. What it does is, instead of tributing monsters, you can pay 1,000 life points to kind of switch it. So like, instead of tributing 1 monster, you can pay 1,000. So it's really nice. And it helps me get out the big bird if I don't have like my Mecha Phantom Beast or something like that. So it really comes in handy. And then I usually just kind of overlay it with like a Divine Wind. So to get out your field spell cards, to get them in your hand, if you don't draw them right away, you run 1 Terraforming. Really good, thins out the deck. I never liked this card, but I started playing it and it really helps a lot. So especially when you want to thin out your deck. But yeah, also another thing to make your deck more consistent and thin out your deck is 1 Pot of Duality. I don't run 2. 1 works. The reason I don't run 2 is just because there's certain times when you don't want this because you want to get your Mecha Phantom Beasts out, and that's just really the only reason I run that 1. And plus, like, if you duality and you get like something that sends something to the hand, the field spell card won't go off. So only 1. Yep. And then 1 enemy controller. You find yourself running a lot of tokens on the field, and when you don't have the correct cards you need, you can just, or if you do, you can enemy controller a token, take their monster, and then tribute off their monster. So pretty basic. A lot of people use that formula, if you want to call it that, but I really like it. It's really hard to take out because I've seen so many good plays with it, but yeah, 1 seems to do it. 1 Book of Moon, obvious, just stops so many plays. 6 Sams can't handle it, and you can flip back your Mecha Phantom Beasts and get more tokens, and just stop your opponent's plays, so it's really nice. One of my favorite spell cards, Forbidden Duress. Nowadays, monsters are just, or people are just using monster effects nowadays, so they don't really use too many trap cards. But basically the point why I run this is because it stops monster effects also. So, if you want to use it for defense, you just chain it onto your opponent's monster and they lose 600 attack. So it's really good and versatile and all that. And then kind of the thing that I built this deck around, Dimensional Fissure. I only run 1 because sometimes it does clog up with all the spell and trap cards that you run in this deck. But 1 really works. It's really nice when you play it first turn and then you do like an Evil Thorn or something that, this card really stops Veilers and stuff, so you can go get your plays off. So it's really nice. And then the last spell I play is Dark Hole, staple. So trap cards, I run 2 Reckless Greed. Honestly, like when you have the field spell card and you're in the lock, you don't really care if you don't draw 2 cards for 2 turns, because this honestly, like, it just helps so much, and you already can draw so much in this deck, and you can just search and special, so you don't really have a problem holding off for 2 turns. Sometimes you actually need to hold for 2 turns too, because when your deck is really low, you just draw 2 cards and then you wait. So it's really nice. But yeah, then I run 2 Macrocosmos. Everyone knows what it does. It banishes all cards that hit the grave. Really stops a lot of stuff. Just really nice to work around, and it's easy to protect when you have the lockout. So, they have a tough time getting rid of it. 1 Starlight Road just to stop Heavy Storm. Heavy Storm kind of pisses me off sometimes, but a first turn Heavy Storm, when I set this the first turn, it's really nice. You get a free Stardust Dragon. So There's no complaining there, really. One magic drain, just for more protection. I like when they discard a card. One compulse helps your deck, and it goes against your opponents, so there's no complaining with this card. One mirror force, just kills their monsters. And the summon stoppers are bottomless, torrential, and solemn judgment. That's the trap lineup. Onto the monsters. 3 evil thorns, probably one of the best level 1 monsters ever. Gets you into your slacker magician and just helps you stall, thins out your deck, all the times he's kind of when you draw 2, that kind of sucks, but there's a card in my deck that'll really help me out with that. On to the rest of the monsters. I run 2 Mecha Phantom Beast Hamstrat. Just gets out tokens and allows you to tribute summon for your apexes and all that, so it's really nice. And just stall power because you can't be destroyed while there's a token on the field. So yeah, and enemy controller fodder. So 1 Mecha Phantom Beast Tetherwolf, really good for attack. I only run just 3 Mecha Phantom Beasts though, because you don't really want to special summon them. You want to tribute them, or not tribute them. You just want to normal summon them because they only get their effects when they're normal summoned or flipped. So that's just really why I only run 3. But other than that, he's really good. Cards that'll help your deck are Summoner Monk, just to get out just a few tuners and stuff that I run in my deck. If you want any level 4, or you just want to exceed to get out of a bad play, you can just pitch a spell card and get into a good play. So he's really nice, and I have a love-hate relationship with him, but I like that he goes to defense position too. So 1 Cyber Valley, him and D.Dsurvivor work really well. He flourishes in the deck. They don't really want to attack him because I'll plus off of it, and I'll just basically draw 2 off my next draw phase. But he's really nice, and he ends the battle phase. I mean, what more would you want? It does suck when they pop him, but if you make a Leviair, you can just get him back. So 1 Penguin Soldier really helps the deck, helps just get your monsters off and get your plays off, and it really screws your opponent over when they swarm the field and they just attack into this, and you just got rid of their Leviair or something like that. So it's just really nice. 1 D.Dsurvivor, I run 1 just because sometimes he gets cloggy if you don't draw those D-fissures, or you can't activate him, or it just gets annoying sometimes. So just 1 Birdman. I actually took out some tour guide targets, and I took out tour guides and I put in a Birdman because he's kind of more versatile, and he just gets your plays off more, and he helps you to get into Iron Chain, which really helps the deck. So yeah, 1 Vortex Trooper. What he does is he allows you to shuffle 2 cards from your hand to the deck and then draw 2 cards, which is really nice when you grab 2 Evil Thorns, put them back into the deck, and then draw 2 more, and it's really nice. So, and when he's destroyed, you draw a card, and he's a win. So you're just plussing off that. 1 Mist Valley Soldier, really good tuner. I love when he's on the field because I used to not like it when his effect would just return the monster he battled and not him, but I actually like it more because they don't want to attack him because they don't want to send their monster back to the hand, so it's really nice. Then I run 1 Mist Valley Falcon, just 1. Seems to work out really fine. 2000 beater, first turn, he gets over Thunder King and all that if you still run Thunder King, so he's really nice. And then the boss monsters are Apex Avian. I run 2. Sometimes you always want to have this card in your hand because you're going to get him out really fast. I might actually run it up to 3. That's how confident I am of getting him out. It's just you can never draw him, whenever you want, depending on the person, but you always want to have him in your hand. So that's yeah. On to the extra deck. 1 Slacker Magician, Stall Power. 1 Black Ship of Corn, everybody does. 1 Gaga Cowboy, Wind Up Zen Mains. New card, Knight Papillate Operative. He just goes up to 3,300 attack, I think, and he's a really nice beater. I just got him, so I just decided to run him. 1 57 Tri-Head Dragon, 1 Leviair, 1 Utopia, 1 16 Shockmaster, and 1 Photon Butterfly. So, yeah. And then for the synchros, Stardust Dragon, obviously, because there's multiple ways you can make him. 1 Scrap Dragon, he's amazing with D.Dsurvivor. 1 Dark End Dragon, just in case Black Ship of Corn doesn't cut it. 1 Black Wing Dragon, just in case you go against a burn deck. And 1 Iron Chain Dragon, just for the mill. And when you attack them and inflict battle damage, they mill, and while you have backer on the field, it just banishes their cards. So, yeah, that's it. Reason I made this deck is I always like control. There's a good pleasure out of just negating your opponent's things. And just the fact that you can have a deck that works around Compulse, which is a very powerful trap card, is just really nice. So, really puts your opponent in a position where they have to think before they do things. So, yeah, that's the deck profile, Miss Valleys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, feel free to like it. Comment, rate, and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Also, let me know what you think about getting out Apex Avian. What ways have you thought of? Because I know a lot of people run those ninjas, but I just didn't find the ninjas very consistent. So, yeah, let me know. Thanks.